Hello folks, and welcome back to Wheels of Mercury. I'm your host Wheels, and today I'm going to talk about 10 black metal releases I love. So, the reason why I'm doing this is because I have black metal as the first genre in my bio for my channel. I thought people would love to know what kind of black metal releases I love. Oh, and also I have adjacent as part of the title too, because I consider black gaze as a part of black metal. So, before I get into the list, hey Wheels! Oh god, here he is, Eli Elitus. What do you want? I got some great albums for you, Wheels. Is Nocturnal Mortem the voice of steel going to be on this list? No. What about Corellian Satanist Madness by Satanic War Master? No! Here's a great one. Finish Steel Storm by Goat Moon. No! Eli, I told you, I'm never going to platform those bands on my channel. How many times do I have to tell you? If you want to create a list with those bands and albums on it, you can do so. But I'm not going to do that. Could you please stop wasting my time and let me do this video? Anyway, we're starting off with Immortal with their album At the Heart of Winter. This album has riffs for days, man. Abbas Dumaculta was just on fire when he was doing all the riffs to this album. I love the songs like When Life and Dark Don't Differ. And I love his vocal style. It sounds like his throat has frostbite in it. It's just such a cool sort of croak. That's the type of voice that I picture. When I picture black metal vocals, I immediately either go to him or to the vocalist from his next band I'm talking about, which is Darkthrone with Under a Funeral Moon. Now, I actually had this album on my battle jacket for a reason. It's my favorite of the Unholy Trilogy of Darkthrone albums that got released in the early 90s. For one simple reason, the drum production. The drum production is just so unique for the time it came out. I love how the kick drum is so loud, but the snare has this, I don't know how to describe it. You know when to listen. It has a tinniness to it, and then the toms have this big boom echo to it. When Fenris hits those toms, it just sounds huge. Again, the drum production on it was just so unique for the time that so many bands have tried to replicate it and pretty much failed. So yeah, Darkthrone, Under a Funeral Moon, in my opinion, the best Darkthrone black metal record. Next up is Deafheaven with New Bermuda, and this is where the adjacent thing comes in, because some argue that Deafheaven is not a black metal band, and I disagree with that. New Bermuda is not just one of my favorite black metal or black metal adjacent albums ever, it's one of my favorite albums ever, period. The riffs are so good, and the switching from atmospheric black metal and black gaze to like indie rock to back, it's just so well done and so well executed. I think that this is better than Sunbather. Sure, Sunbather opened the doors for me to get into black metal. That is for certain. But New Bermuda really cemented my love for Deafheaven. Their best record in my opinion. Next up is The Mantle by Agalloch. This is quite a unique album, even for today. It blends black metal and neo-folk together in a very cohesive package. I really love the atmosphere that it creates. It's such an autumnal / wintry atmosphere that is perfect for this time of the year up in the northern hemisphere. It has this like soulful sort of atmosphere that has only really been replicated by one other act that I don't really want to mention because I don't want to platform them. The Mantle is a great album. And if you want to hear neo-folk mixed with black metal, I think there's no better album to start off with than this one. Next up is Ulver, with their last black metal album ever before they went to do electronic music, and that is Nattens Madrigal. They really went out with a bang with this album. This album is a really raw black metal record with a lot of dark ambient transitions, and apparently the lyrics are all about a lycanthropic transformation into a werewolf, which really makes sense because the snarling vocals and the dark ambient transitions are really Tsaryan in a way. If you understand what Tsaryans are, and you understand that sort of subculture, if you're a Tsaryan yourself, you might be able to really connect with this album, especially if your spirit animal is a wolf. But even if you're not like that, I feel like you will like this album. Anyways, Ulver really went out with a bang with this record. After this, they just said, screw it, we'll just be an electronic group from now on. And contrary to what some black metal fans think, I actually applaud that decision, but still, if you like raw black metal, like the aforementioned Darkthrone album, check this out. You will not be disappointed. Next up is the Irish metal band Primordial with To the Nameless Dead. Now this is another one that's not truly black metal, and it goes in the more adjacent category, but Alan and company have so many friends in the black metal scene that I don't really know where to put it elsewhere, really. Primordial had such a unique sound that it's really hard for me to describe. Alan had such a unique singing voice. It's like halfway between like heroic belting and like sometimes screaming, but not always. The songs are so long, but they're so captivating. It's almost like you're in the movie Braveheart. Best way I can describe it, really. Yeah, if you like some heroic black metal influence, Celtic doom metal stuff, whatever Primordial is. Primordial, To the Nameless Dead. Next up is the artist that was a gateway for me into black metal in 2020. And that is Lamp of Murmur with his demo, The Burning Spears of Crimson Agony. This is just 25 minutes of just fury, riffs, and more riffs. It got a blazing production to it that reminds me of some Hellenic black metal bands from Greece, like Vertumnus. And also the vocals are intense as hell, and they really complement the music really well. Probably one of the best black metal demos I've heard in this decade of the 2020s. So, if you haven't heard Lamp of Murmur, I think this would be a good place to start out. Next up is the Australian depressive black metal / black gaze band Woods of Desolation with the 2014 album At the Stars. Now I know a lot of their fanbase considers Torn Beyond Reason their best album, but personally I prefer the more raw production of At the Stars, even if you have to turn it up a tiny bit in order to get the full impact of the music. But the melodies are so beautiful. And it is just me, but that's the main riff that opens up the opening song on this Woods of Desolation album remind me of Little Hell by Dallas Green, the title track off of his Little Hell album. It's the exact same chord. I'm getting off track here. This is a beautiful record. And it's weird that it's called Black Gaze now by Wait Your Music, because when I first discovered them 10 years ago, they were labeled as depressive black metal. If you consider it depressive black metal, that's fine. And if you consider it black gaze, that's fine too. Either way, this is a great record. You should check it out. And I think they are the best Australian metal band in the black metal scene there. What about Destroyer 666? Shut up, Eli! God. He loves talking about his sketchy bands, doesn't he? Anyway, moving on to Negative Plane, The Pact. This is a great album by a very underrated American black metal band that takes more inspiration from the first wave of black metal. Think Venom, Merciful Fate, Bathory, that sort of stuff, more than the second wave. Although it does take vocal inspiration from the second wave, and it also takes inspiration from the middle period of bands from the Czech Republic, or Czechia, as it's now called, specifically the band Master's Hammer. Negative Plane are very much taken from that sort of vibe found on Master's Hammer's 1991 album, Ritual. Going back to Negative Plane though, this album, I feel like, was a labor of love for all the band members. They really put their all into this, you know? They really thought out the concept of it through, and of a church that is cursed by the devil. And it is really done effectively. There's a lot of theatricity and a lot of winding riffs and a lot of like grandiosity to it that was so crucial to records like Melissa and Don't Break the Oath. Only without King Diamond's vocals, which I am not a fan of, being replaced by Venom-esque / Bathory-esque vocals, which I am more of a fan of. If you never heard of these guys, I think this album would be a great place to start with Negative Plane. I'm not the only metal YouTuber that sings the praises of Negative Plane, as Wyatt Sim, a guy I don't really watch anymore for certain reasons, he also loves this band. You might have heard him talk about this band as well. Check out Negative Plane, man. They are super underrated and they need more support than they usually get, you know? Yeah, Negative Plane. They're awesome. Next up is the Slovakian band Malokarpatan with their album Vertumnus Caesar. This is also in the Master's Hammer school of black metal. But Malokarpatan, they go in a different direction. They sing in Slovakian, but they also have these like 70s progressive rock parts that remind me of Jethro Tull. Really cool. This album in particular is based upon a medieval king. I think Rupert the First or Rupert the Second or something like that. Based upon a medieval hermit king. It's a great album. Some great riffs in it. Like I said, some great progressive rock transitions in it too. If you love Negative Plane or Master's Hammer or even Mortuary Drape, yeah, check this Malokarpatan album out. It's amazing. And last but not least, we've got a band of unknown origin that people thought was Russian, but that turned out to be not true. This band is called Koldovstvo, and the album title is in Russian, and I hope it's pronounced Ni Tsarya Ni Boga. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but apologies for that. This band is a very raw sort of black metal band. They just have this kind of raw, shimmery sound that reminds me a little bit of like Tra, the project of Damien and Tanarietta. And it also reminds me of some bands that I'm not gonna talk about either because of connection to the NS scene in Russia. But if you know, you know. You mean the Blazeburst Hall band? Shut up, Eli! Anyways, this band, especially in the opening track, I would kind of say this is like a cleaner alternative of sorts to those bands. They even have like haunting clean vocals a la Batushka sort of vibe in there too. It's not a very long record either, just like 30 minutes. But if you like raw, shimmery, kind of melodic, but kind of not black metal, yeah, give this Koldovstvo album a shot. And I'm waiting for a follow-up from these guys, and I hope they come out with a follow-up either this year or next year or maybe the year after that. I'd love to hear how they're gonna evolve, regardless of where they're actually from. That wraps up 10 black metal and adjacent releases I loved. So I turned this to you guys, the audience. What black metal releases, what 10 black metal releases and adjacent, it can be black gaze, it can be atmospheric black metal, heck, it can be even like Christian black metal if you want, like black metal. Let me know what 10 black metal and adjacent releases you love. Subscribe to Wheels of Mercury. Check out this video that didn't get enough love, and check out this other video that didn't get enough love too. These got under 100 views. Yeah, I'd love it if you guys checked out these videos. Rock on, guys, and I will see you in the next video.